It's gonna be fun.
Here's a new segment on Wake Up Worlds. Today in Worlds history. This is where we look back on some great moments that have happened in Worlds in years past. Tyler, you picked a special matchup from 2014.
This matchup was a banger, and I think it's looking back at the Damwon versus DRX series. Seeing that be such a whitewash, such a mollywop, and then you go back to 2014 C9 versus Samsung Blue. I think very similar kind of expectations where C9 was in the DRX spot. If they were expected to get 3-0'd, they are the outman, the outgun, the outmuscle team. Samsung Blue, featuring Deft for all, kind of swinging all back here. Deft from now the DRX team. Back then on Samsung Blue, one of the tournament favorites, came to the series as 95, 99%. Like they should beat the North American team. And C9 knew they were outgunned, and it was a series of one man high, the commander, the chief of C9, piloting his team, and it was a marvel to watch him play chess with a team trying to outbox them, to outmuscle them. And we saw so many different intriguing ways how C9 and High kind of tried to combat their weaknesses and to kind of cover them up with, the split pushing and the jungle warfare. And it was really awesome to see, a team that was outmatched play a style not to go head-to-head of a team that could just steamroll them in team fighting, but try to pick them apart. And obviously, Cloud9 did lose the series 3-1, but it was such a close series overall. C9 almost could have made this a 5-game series. In a different world, it could have been, one of the biggest upsets of all time if C9 could have pulled it out. But it's fondly remembered as one of the best Worlds quarterfinals matches of all time. And still to this day, I love watching the series because we see so many times where it's DRX versus Damwon, and it's a heavy favorite versus a team that wants to play the same style, and they just get punched out, right? Where it's Damwon is just way better at everything DRX does, and they smash heads and they just get crushed. Where C9, they knew they couldn't play Samsung style, and they did everything to combat that and to play around it. So I wish we could see more of these, intriguing, these innovative play styles when you're outgunned. But that's what makes C9 versus Samsung Blue so special. It's not something that happens very often where a team who's outmatched outthinks the opponent and steals victories away and makes the series a lot closer than it should be on paper.
So that is today in World's history. We will bring you a couple more as we go along here. Every step of the way, we are with you until a world champion is crowned. I got it, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Stay with me on this one. Mm-hmm. C9 Chovy.
That'd be beautiful. I mean, oh man.
Would Jack pay the money? You think? I don't know if he would.
I don't think he would. I think he's happy with Niski. I think Jack is punching himself because I really do think Jack looks at this meta and says, we could have done something here. Like, this meta fits us perfectly. Like, we would have rocked this meta. Yeah. Like, with Blabber and Vulcan roaming, Niski on his, kind of support utility mages, Licorice with the Ornn and the Volibear in the top lane, Sven on the Senna, farming silently in the bottom lane while his jungler and support roam around the map. Like, this fits C9 beautifully. So C9 Chovy would be any NA team could love Chovy, right? Because Chovy is a player who just wins lane. He doesn't need really anyone to enable him. He just wins lane automatically, most likely. Like, he wins 10 CS, 15 CS against most opponents. So he's not a player that really needs to be enabled or kind of pushed. He could do most of his things on his own. So that's kind of what makes him such a special player. But alas, don't get me started on NA Chovy, man. I mean, he's going to China. China's going to open the bag. He's going to go to like LNG or OMG or JDG or one of the Gs. He's going to go to somewhere that's rude of you to give one of the Gs.
G2.
One of those.
Before the LCS. Like, I got it.